Hey folks, Lester here, and welcome to the JL Ranch. I'm leaving the dogs in the truck. So something pretty crazy happened today, and I wasn't over here when it happened. Let me kind of give you a little bit of a backstory, and then I'm going to show you what's happened and what's going on. You'll have to excuse the noise here on the road. We're out here by the interstate. This is my front pond. This is the entrance to the property here. So I'm hauling a trailer, not to be alarmed. I just don't have a place to store it back at Longhorn Lester's. Today, Mr. Curtis, my neighbor over here, that's the pastor, he sent a text first of all, and he said that there was people walking across the property. Now, that's a little bit alarming because, we worry about people being here with the animals and all. But I knew I'd missed a couple of calls, and I went back to my phone book, or to the phone messages, and I listened, and supposedly, a lady had called and said they were going to be on the property, and they're looking for a missing person.
Good evening. I'm working with a team trying to find a missing person. We do not want you to be alarmed if there's people in the woods on the property. Any concerns, you can reach me at.
Now, it wasn't until I called that number back, and I'll tell you a little bit about the information that she told me, but I don't want to impede or mess up any of their investigation, but I'm going to give you the rundown in a nutshell. They were looking through this stretch of woods right over here, which is kind of scary because I just mowed that. You see, I just mowed yesterday. They were also walking through this patch of woods over here. And guys, someone had gone missing. I do believe it was a young lady from the truck stop, from one of these sides of the truck stop. I didn't ask for details, but the last known whereabouts of this young lady was at one of these truck stops over here, and they haven't found her. But the lady who I talked to does not, or did not, want to give out a whole lot of information, and I understand. I don't know if it's a group that she works with. I didn't ask any of those kind of things, but I told her I had just mowed and I didn't notice anything weird. And when I say that, I don't mean to sound crude or insensitive, but like I didn't notice any, like foul smells or anything like someone had passed away. But I'll tell you what, you can see where they've walked through here too. You can see the grass has been beat down. Look, you can see where they actually walked through with sticks. Look, they didn't miss an inch. Now, I'm wearing Crocs, so I am not going to walk in there. And I also don't want to put my DNA in case there's something bad happen. I don't want to have my DNA anywhere out there. But how scary is that? To know that things can happen. And you always hear about this kind of stuff on the TV, the news, and bad things happen. But it's not every day that you have people walking across your property and looking across into your woods to see if they can locate a missing person. And I think that you all know what I assume they meant when they say a missing person. Because what I'm imagining, boy, these woods are thick too. Yeah, you can see where they've walked down through here. And then I did not call the lady back to see if they found anything. I guess that I'll do what everyone else does and just go to Google and try to figure it out. But these trucks stop here, y'all. I'm just gonna tell you something. And not trying to knock anybody, okay? I'm not trying to knock anybody. But you guys do know that a lot of these truck stops and these rest stops, they have working girls and working guys who come through there working, if you know what I mean. And I'm not saying it's always anything of the bow wow nature. It might could be to do with narcotics or human trafficking. I have no idea. But I bet you these rest stops see a lot more riffraff than what we probably realize. I'm not going any further because I'm wearing Crocs and I don't want to get out on a snake. But I wanted to tell this little piece of a story and then show you what had happened and how scary it is. And so I'm guessing that they also walked down through these woods over here. Now don't forget, even though my fence comes to right here, you can see the old fence. So my property line runs out across them woods a good ways. And so to have people walking across the property searching for a missing person, it's just kind of scary. All right, so I did talk to Mr. Curtis, and they had parked all along through here, and they scoured this wood line over here. They also had a team parked over there going through all that wood line. I don't know for a fact if they would have gone over here, but I don't know why they would not have. I do not know why they would not have tried and went through that tree line over there. And I don't feel like I needed to do that. That's not my job to do, right? Even though I want to help out if I'm needed, I just, I don't know. So, all right, well, that's pretty scary, guys. It's just darn scary. And if you guys are traveling, I know July 4th is coming up and a lot of people are on the road. And y'all just be safe out there, guys, because even though I can only assume that it might have been something like of a crime-related incident, I don't know that for a fact. I'm just speculating because I don't know the details. It could very well be somebody had a guy or a girl traveling alone could have found themselves in a bad situation. It could have been some kind of a date gone wrong, if you know what I mean, situation. So don't just take my word and go with it, because I don't know. But all I do know is that we had people across the property today, through the woods of the property, looking for a missing person. And like I said, I can only assume that that's probably a deceased missing person. I'm very unlikely to have a missing person who's alive in this heat. So let me get this trailer to the house. Hey guys, we're here. Come on, girls. Oh, I'm gonna have to help both these fat asses down. Come on, Stella. Hi, hello, everybody. Ritzy, do you... So, makes you kind of wonder, like, if those people were walking across our wood line today, what did Rita and Roman, and of course Gemma, what did they witness, and then what did they think? Because that tree line, that wood line comes right over there. Hey, Roman. Hi, buddy. And then, scary situation. Okay, guys, I'm trying to come through here. Y'all are going to all be sweet to Daddy, right? Let's take them over and get them fed. Come on, guys. And then you got to also remember that how scary is it to know that... Now, listen, once again, I'm only going on things I've seen on TV. But what if somebody, like, led somebody off into the woods and they were screaming and hollering and yelling? Did Rita and Roman know about that too? Baby, don't walk right on my heel, sweetie. I don't want you to step on me. Oh, Lord. Hey, put your ears pretty, Rita. Baby, get out of Daddy's way. We're going to all go to our rooms and get a bite to eat. Come on, Roman. And then, guys, I'm going to park my trailer in this pasture because I want to start working with Rita, for sure, and Gemma on loading and unloading. And eventually, even this big guy over here, because that was one of the things that Mr. Rick talked about. My God, gee! Hey, you need to settle it down. Everyone needs to just settle it down. Oh, Lord. I'm going to turn my lights on. Y'all give me a moment here. I've been watching the surveillance camera. I went back and replayed everything from yesterday. And I never saw anybody come across the yard. I never saw anyone come across the pastures over here. Of course, no one come up alongside any of my property that I'm recording. So I do believe they must have stayed along that fence line over there. And then I'll say this. I want so badly, there's two things that I want to do. Number one, I want to call the lady and ask her if they found anything. And I don't know why I feel like I just need to call her. But at the same time, I feel like that makes me look like I'm guilty of something. Doesn't it? Think about it for a minute. If I end up calling this lady back, I already called once and asked her. And now if I call her again today and ask if they found anything, I sound like I'm guilty of something. That's how I feel. Like I feel like I'm going to be guilty of something if I call her and ask her if they found anything. And then number two, because it's right here at the property, I feel like, should I do my part and jump on my side-by-side, put a pair of boots on, and drive along myself and help look? Even though no one's here now, I mean, I know these woods better than they do, probably. I know the creek, the way it runs. I know, should I do my part and go over there and look? But what am I looking for? I'm not privy to all of that information. And by me asking for it, makes me feel like I'm guilty. And then, like I said yesterday afternoon, what if there is something horrible has happened? And then I have my DNA all over the place. Then it ties me into it. So, as I sit here today, just still thinking about what happened yesterday, and I don't know, I just not real sure how I feel about that. Scary, but everything on the property is fine, guys. And I've not been contacted back by anybody. I appreciate my neighbor letting me know what was going on. And of course, the lady calling. I wish that I could have gotten more information from her. But you guys be careful out there. If you're traveling or if you are known to be, you know, working in a place that puts you in a dangerous situation, just be careful. That makes me feel so horrible because in my mind, I just relive all kinds of horrible things that may have happened. And like I say, all I know is what I see on TV. You know, I've seen too many shows on TV, or I've seen too many things on the local news about horrible situations. And to think that someone, you know, could possibly be dead, and then what they went through before they passed, how scared they must have been, who they cried out to, those things just play in my head like a weirdo. But all is fine. We're doing good here. All the animals are good. No one come up around the RV, or no one walked across anything that could have got them hurt or anything. But it was quite scary to know that there's people on the property. But I understand why. They have an investigation underway, and I really do hope they can find the missing person. And I hope that I'm making more out of this than what it is. I hope it's not as bad as what I think. But thank you all for watching the video, and thank you guys for being careful and watching out for each other. I really mean that. Thank you all for being careful and watching out for your friends and your family. Just remind them of how dangerous and how scary life can be. Y'all have a wonderful July 4th weekend. I'll see you again. But just if you are going to hit the road traveling, just be aware of your surroundings. Be careful. Take your pepper spray with you. And don't put yourself in a bad situation. If you're a single female and you date, just be very careful of who you hang out with and where you go, who you're with. So, all right, we love you very much. We're so very blessed to have you guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next video. And say a prayer. Say a prayer for the family of whoever that is missing. Hope that they find them safe. All right. Thank you, friends.
Don't let your troubles fester. Come watch Longhorn Lester.
Yeah, something like that.